Again.
RuPaul Drag Race.
Hey, kitty girls, it's Thursday, May 7th, 2020, and welcome to Cubs Out Loud Drag Race Tea Time, Season 12, Episode number 10. It's Superfan Makeover Edition.
Woohoo!
We are but just a few scant days away from Mama's Day, so, you know, it's that thing that's happening in a time of a pandemic and people don't know what to do with themselves, and maybe they'll go shopping if they can in their area.
Or maybe they'll spend 20 minutes putting on eye makeup for a video.
Maybe she'll try out something new, something different.
Yeah, something fun.
Yeah. Little did they know when they recorded this show last summer how the world would change so drastically.
So much.
All right, let's finish up some intros. For those of you that don't know, my name is Gary. I'm one of the co-hosts of this fabulous little podcast show that we do here. Live, recorded to be posted later to YouTube, and as an audio version as a podcast. I have one of the most fabulous, fantastic, and freakadeek bitches ever as my co-star hostess.
Oh, you. Thank you, Gary. The check's in the mail.
I can't wait to cash that 15 cents, bitch.
Oh, yeah. Just say it. The pandemic has been hard. Well, it's Gary over there or there. I keep pointing to the wrong direction. And I'm Damon. Welcome to the show. I have not had any alcohol this morning. This morning.
Oh, bitch, listen to you. I haven't had any alcohol this morning. People, it is going on 9 p.m. at night. This bitch, she's like, I haven't had any this morning. Really? It's bad enough a coworker of mine today admitted that she decides a pick-me-up as a cocktail at home. And I looked her straight in the face in my office and I said, you mean to tell me you take a downer as an upper? We got a big laugh out of that. I was like, okay, I see you, boo.
And Mrs. Costa Davis said there's always time for a cocktail.
All right, so let's get into it's the makeover challenge. Have a discussion about that, okay?
Sure.
Gentlemen, start your engines and may the best woman win.
Yes, I'm changing up the audio cues. Get used to it.
Okay.
So the maxi challenge. So Rue calls the girls, they get in formation and they have their little talk, but Rue's being very quiet. Because on the other side of that wall are some super fans and they don't know what's going to happen. And I'm watching this going, okay. But these super fans were very particularly selected of note. Because, honey, ain't a fugly one in a bunch. I'm just gonna say, not all the RP, DR fans in the world are, gorgeous. They're beautiful, but some of them they when their mug gets beat, it gets beat. I'm just saying, they was all very pretty.
Yes.
Very pretty ladies.
Yes.
So, now I must say, I would have figured something was up because they thought they were going to be in the audience and then they walk into the workroom and I'm like, who the fuck doesn't know what the workroom looks like? Big, fake, pink, brick, like background, wobbly walls. I'm like, who doesn't know this is the workroom? You think you're going to be part of an audience or something? Now,
they were walking.
Go ahead.
Well, I think I'm trying to picture it. So if you remember episode, they're at a table, which is randomly set up in the middle of a hallway, like, and there's curtains on like both sides, and it just like they showed them like signing up and all this stuff, and I'm sure like the signing up is probably there's some like some confidentiality agreements and some model application, they get to use their pictures and all that shit. There's probably all there because even if you're going to be in the audience, you're probably signing that if anyway, because they're going to be putting you on TV. So if you want to be in the audience, then you kind of have to agree to allow to be videotaped and recorded and photographed potentially. So
there's going to be an NDA of some sort, like non-disclosure agreement.
Yes.
You're going to talk about your ass, like possibly being on camera, what you saw. As John Pauly pointed out, these ladies didn't even know who the hell these bitches were that were competing.
I mean, that's also true.
I thought that was
think about
interesting.
it for a second. Like, I get that you're like super fans, but like, this isn't like All Stars, where you would probably know the queens. This is the regular season. So you might have heard of maybe one of them, depending on how well known or well traveled they are. Like if you think of like a Chad Michaels, or Derek Barry, those people that have done Vegas and all of those things. Like there's a possibility that a queen might, or a regular fan of drag might know who they are, but maybe not so much this time. I thought that was kind of funny.
Well, I mean, in my mind, I was kind of like, now the issue is that you're going to be with these 6 girls, and you can't talk about who makes top 6. So not only did you do an NDA, but your ass is going to end up in a heap of legal trouble if you run it off talking about, I know who made top 6. So
yeah.
So that being said, they get matched up, and it's a 1-to-1 ratio, one super fan to one queen, one contestant, and they all have to be done over in the drag family concept. So, what did you think, Damon, of this big old maxi challenge?
So I pretty much said this was a very cute change up. We've gotten very different words. Very different concepts of the same thing in the past when we're going to the makeover challenge. It's they bring some of the girls back. They bring they've had other castmates. They've had like production staff. They've had what was it like? I think last year, wasn't it like internet celebs or something like that? If it was that last year or 2 years ago,
I can't remember.
It all blurs together. No, just to be honest. It's starting to blur together. It's a sign of age. I'm just putting it out there. But they've done the makeover challenge in many years in the past. So I think this was a very cute idea. The concept being that it's not someone who is related to or a correlation to the show. It's not gay vets. It's not someone, it's not nothing along those lines. It's actually people who this would be like a really awesome opportunity for. And I thought that was really sweet and very cute. Having fans, super fans, drag race fans, kind of coming on and doing this, getting the experience, which I think really nice. So I appreciate this chance and this opportunity. And I think it went okay. I'll get into other things a little later, but yeah, it was a very cute idea.
Okay.
Gary?
I said for once, a fair matchup, ? Of all the seasons of makeovers, was this truly the most like net neutral, honest, like good personality to personality, like type to type kind of thing? Like, I will say this, the only thing that would have been awkward but makes sense, and this is my ignorant white ass saying this, is if there had been 2 super fans of color and Jada took one and gave the other one to Honey. Sorry, to Heidi. Do you know what I mean? And like,
well, I mean,
and put, no offense, put white girls with white girls, and brown girls are brown girls, and just let it at that. That was the only thing I thought about as I was watching and I was like, okay, there's only one brown girl, but there's two brown queens. I was like, is one of them
Well,
going to end up, or are they going to shake it up more?
there were two brown girls. The not to keep going saying that word, but like little Snacky was actually, I'm assuming, of a Latin descent. But don't get me wrong, America, if you know who she is, I'm going based solely on what I saw.
Well, and I thought about her, but she had a really light complexion. Like I honestly, having her matched up with Jackie, I thought was good because Jackie being Persian, while she's Canadian, I'm like, they both have dark features. You know, dark eyebrows. One has a black beard. You know, one maybe trying to bleach away her beard. You know, like, so I was like, that's pretty good. And I noticed like she got a little melanin, you know.
There was some obvious, like, there was going to obviously be someone's not going to be matched with someone that they would easily be able to say skin match to. Right. I hate saying this shit like this way, but like, that's kind of the way it is. Like, just the way it's going to sometimes be. Who knows who all they got, you know?
Well, and that's where I was like, well, I thought this was interesting how Jada matched everybody up, because if she wanted to, she could have really like gone to extremes and kind of made it look like she mismatched everybody on purpose. Do you know what I mean? Like, if she had if she got, you know, a super fan that was fair haired with like bright, fiery orange hair, and she took that queen, do you know what I mean? And like just did polar opposites across the board, you know, to see how that worked out for everybody. I don't know.
Sure.
Like, it might have been interesting, but so, I mean, I honestly think I was like, it seemed like a fair matchup. I mean, all the queens pretty much liked who they got put together with. Like,
yeah, I agree. I think there was everyone seemed to be, I mean, the big thing I think was the funniest part where Jada, she picked her girl and the girl hadn't walked in heels. Like, that's one of the things you go, oh shit, like she doesn't walk in heels that much. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, yes, that's going to be difficult, but like, is it really that difficult?
Well, no. And I agree. Like, there's a little part of me that was like, are we manufacturing something? Is we making a little bit of a storyline that isn't really quite a storyline? Like
that.
When she takes a tumble, like trips on the runway when they're pretty much wrapped up and walking back. Bitch, it's not that she can't walk in heels. The earplugs like fell down to the floor and she almost stepped on them or partially stepped on them. I'm like, that's not tripping. That's not knowing how to walk in heels. That's like those hardwired earbuds are a hazard.
Yeah.
Period.
And I think there were some like, oh, she's walking very, you know, like she was clomping. Like, I will admit, and I saw it, and it's okay. But, you know, I don't think this was her like first time in heels or anything along those lines. I feel like this is probably like, you get comfortable, you know, and so you don't wear heels as much.
She didn't weeble wobble and like, you know, constantly practically fall down like first time.
Yeah. She has some moments, but you know, that's one of these things where I'm like, okay, the heel was definitely a definite drag heel. Like, it was very tall. It was a very stiletto heel. So that's problematic for anybody. Like, if you've been walking in heels for a long time, if you've not walked in a heel that high, then you still might have some issues. Right. You might still have to clomp for a while.
You ready to move on?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Cover girl, put the bass in your walk. Cover
girl. All right, Stop the Runway Children. Category is family resemblance. I think it's actually drag family resemblance, but you know what it is.
Yeah.
Who look like who they belong. David, I know what you wrote down, so that's why I'm like, okay.
Okay. So, okay. So we know this is a staple of Drag Race, right? We all know this. We know that this is going to be a thing every season. So you can't gag when it happens. You also can't gag necessarily when a queen is prepared for it to happen. Um, there was a lot of preparedness this time around, and I'm not sure how I feel about it. I'm feeling kind of madish in a way. And I'm gonna give you the perfect example, and I hate keep bringing her up, and I'm gonna bring her up later again, but Sherry Pie obviously had that outfit ready, had the name ready, had everything on board, and all she had to do was put the girl in her and put her in makeup. Like that's all. Whoever it was was going to be tiramisu. And that's, I think, where I have my problem with it, where some of the other queens I get that it's your family, right? I get it. It's your drag family. It's your sister, your daughter, whatever, blah, 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 whatever. But like, there's something to be said about like getting the girl or whoever is you're painting to give some input into what they do and what they wear and how they act and, you know, everything. Cause I get that it's your competition, but like something needs to be given to the person so that they have some input in regards to what's being done. And I don't feel like that, you know, is fun. Like basically you're going to be put in like Janet the Planet, who has an awesome fucking name, by the way. Like, I think that was hilarious. You are now tiramisu no matter what. Like, you get put in this dress because it probably fits you, because it can probably fit most anyone. And we just throw on the crinolines and we put on the, you know, the under stuff, and I paint you and you look like me, and then there we go. My worst one, just to be blunt, was Gigi and BB. Like those, there's nothing to those coats. Like it is a square of fabric, or rectangle, or bell. It's a bell. It'll fit any body shape. And since you don't put anything else, as far as we know, you don't put anything on underneath it, it'll fit practically anybody. Male, female, anyone in between, big, small, you know, just throw it on them and there you go. And that just lacks so much creativity and originality and, you know, fun for the the person that you're making over. And given that this was like the Superfan thing, I get probably, like, you could probably say, oh, I got to experience it, but like, I wanted something more. Yeah. Gary?
Well, before I say my comments, I will reply to what you're talking about. I do not have a problem with strategy. So I do not take umbrage with what Sherry Pie did and what Gigi did. I thought that was incredibly smart forethought to pick a whole look, to be ready to know that there's a makeover challenge and be like, I got to have something that's going to fit anybody. Because that did not work for Heidi. She admits on the runway she had an outfit, but it wouldn't work because of the size of her superfan. So, I think you could have a strategy and you could be prepared, but it can also not work in your favor. And then you gotta scramble. You gotta do something. Now, I agree with all the critiques that Gigi's was lackluster because it didn't do anything. Like, they came out, they were wearing these big ass jackets, and whoop-de-doo. Had they done a reveal to matching outfits underneath that were opposite colors, so like if you're wearing the white jacket with the black dots, and then you reveal to a black outfit with white and vice versa, like, you probably would have won. Like had you done more than just the minimum, you probably would have won. And notably, Sherry didn't win. Now, I'm going to pose this question. Is your goal to win the challenge, or is your goal to survive to the next week?
Good question.
Because the week that some queens don't do well at that have otherwise done well is the makeover challenge. They're on this upward trajectory. They're doing well. Everything's good. And then they get thrown sideways by being given Lurch from the Munsters to put in a dress who can't walk in heels. That is a rectangular, tall box frame that you can't do nothing with.
Fair.
So I think they feel perfectly fine that they got through, because the goal is when you get to this level, yes, there are a couple of goals, and one of them is to make top 4, to make top 3, because who knows what some bitch is going to do and get disqualified. So the goal is like to try to get that far. But honestly, when you're like at 8, 7, 6, it's kind of, I don't want to say questionable, but you're looking to stay in versus get out. And I think if you're really that much of a strategy player, you're okay with not being in the top. You just don't want to be in the bottom. So if the safe play is to do really good and get a finger wag, like, girl, you brought that shit. You were prepared. You didn't really get much creativity running out of this. But that's the worst thing that the judges can say about you. I'm not saying it's the best way to play, but I can understand what you're doing. So for me, it was typical outcomes and wonderful weirdos. So, like, the typical outcomes are you end up with one queen who always disappoints in the makeover challenge. Heidi, I'm talking about your ass. Because I like you so much. You have, like, so much charisma. And, like, it's just astounding. And I was hoping that you were going to do really well in this challenge, and you didn't. Like, when both of them walked out of the runway, I was like, record scratch. I was like, what just happened?
Oh, girl, I had so many problems with that look. Like, okay. The woman was a larger woman.
Right.
We do know that. She was, I believe, the largest of the women that the Superfans that came in. And she had a lot of self-confidence issues and all of those things, which I think that they, focused on during the edits and the, not critiques, but the moments that that Heidi had with her. And I get that. And I guess that is very difficult to dress someone. We know that a plus size, woman, is very difficult to put them in things. I don't know how long they had. Right? I don't know how long they had in regards to making something or doing whatever. We don't, unfortunately, we get that. We get that it's essentially at least a day. Right. Quote unquote, because they do the elimination day. They come back in the next day, supposedly. Right. Again, who knows? Because these are, people. So they could be like, you're committing to staying here for 2 days. Okay, well, right. I got to get back home to my husband or whatever. But so we don't know how long they had. So is it possible that she ran out of time? Maybe, but I don't think so. because if you look at the show, um, when they walk in the workroom, when RuPaul walks through the workroom, that outfit is on the table. When she's talking with Heidi and Nicole, I believe is her name. That outfit is on the table. They've already got the wig on the girl, so the idea was there. Did they run out? What, like, that's the thing I don't know. What did they run out of time for?
Right.
Like, could we have done something? They could have, if she was, okay, I'm just, like, I think they talk about it in Fashion Photo Review. Like, there was some probably very shimmery fabric up on that wall that could have done a lot better than this patterned whatever that she was wearing.
Right.
I get that the color may have been different, but there was so much more you could have done. If you're going to just do this like bell dress with sleeves and stuff, and I think it had cut out shoulders, you could have done so much more. We know you can sew.
Well, I guess my feeling on it is like you should have made one for you.
Mm-hmm.
Like the problem is, like, it's such a mismatch. Like, you have a really good outfit, but your girl has a really great face. Your face not so good. Her outfit not so good. Like, it's so topsy-turvy weird. And so that's what I mean. Like typical outcomes, it's like one queen usually drops the ball. And of all the queens, I didn't expect it to be Heidi. I don't know why. I honestly thought, like, well, maybe we'll get, one that doesn't really work out well. Like we'll actually get kind of past that issue and we won't know. We still ended up with the, nobody understands what the hell happened. So, and then the wonderful weirdos, honestly, truly, Crystal Method was edited to come across as like truly going out on a limb. And I don't think it was that much of a stretch. I mean, she's already been establishing herself as a kooky queen, like as a, kind of crazy, cartoonish, like fun, individual. So I wasn't all that surprised. Like, I didn't think I get why it was necessary for the edit. I don't like it when they're like, is she painting her yellow? Like there's this whole conversation in the workroom, like, what is that bitch doing? Because in the end, it worked. Like, it was wacky. It was definitely wild. It was something unexpected. And I thought the I'm just going to call it out, the Bert and Ernie subliminal reference was truly subliminal, because my ass didn't pick it up at first. But that was purely because I felt that the hair on both of them did not give me the hair that those Muppets have.
No, it doesn't.
So, like, but if you know what the reference is, and then you see that both of them are wearing rings, like, you get the underlying message, the kind of, like, so, that aside, I thought that was just, wow, like, that was really wild and wonderful and different, and there's no way you couldn't say that there was some type of a resemblance, because, the only thing they didn't do was, flock some felt and stick it to their face to look like, puppets or something. So, that, to me, that was the wonderful weirdo portion of it. I will say this, honorable mention to Miss Winner, Jada Essence Hall knocked it out of the park. She was the chocolate, and her girl Jazzy was the vanilla cream, and they both look pretty beautiful. And I think this is why I kind of said it in our Telegram chat. Ding. That she, there was this thing about, that, I understand that some people kind of felt maybe she shouldn't have won, but I was like, she made outfits, plural, or at least made one to go with the one that she already had, presuming for her. and she had like maybe she brought the fabric with her. I don't know. Like it was complementary, different cut, different style. Like she gave the blonde to the white girl, the hair, like I mean like she really kind of played that up, and it was a really good we're related
choice.
but we're not, we're not twins, which is very much what I think Sherry Pie delivered. Like twins, just with different colors on. In terms of outfits. So
yeah.
So to me, I was like, okay, like I see you, and I mean even like Gigi's was like twins with just different color frocks. So yeah, I mean, and to be fair, Jackie's was okay, but not great.
Yeah.
It's weird because those that did not do well at this, I was like, wow, this is kind of like an episode 3 thing. You know what I mean? Like it's so or much earlier in the season, I would have expected this outcomes, like how they perform. So
I just felt like it's again, I get what you're saying about, preparing and all that stuff. If you know it's coming, you should properly prepare. And it's probably a good idea to prepare something that could potentially fit multiple people. I get that. Where maybe you just have to, like, I didn't see the full Sherry and Tara looks, but I'm going to assume that either there's a stretch fabric up top to kind of fit just about anyone, and then it kind of blooms at the bottom, so you just have to put the crinolines and whatever underneath it. And I mean that'll fit just about anybody because it's at the waist, and the waist is usually, you can usually just drape it over. If they're a larger person already, it's probably already going to go pretty high, so those kind of things. But I guess there's a part of me that would have wanted more, like especially from the looks of a few of them. Jada, again, they mentioned that she made them. We don't know when exactly she made them. One of them or both of them or whatever. She made them during the course of the day or two that they had. Yes, definitely more power to her because they look amazing. But we already have established that Jada is a very talented seamstress, and knows what she's doing behind a sewing machine. So I wouldn't have expected anything less from her. I would have expected some good tailored looks.
That's fair. But I guess I will say this. When mediocre is the majority, it don't take much to get in front of that.
Fair. Yeah. I think again, you look at Crystal's and it's definitely a lot of things that have been, mishmashed together, but there's cohesiveness. Like, believe it or not, like the shit she does sometimes, there's definite thought to that.
Right.
Because I just, I randomly just happened to look up Bert and Ernie, and I just looked at their like pictures and stuff, and like the striped shirts are like their thing. Like that is their thing. Like it's always like one shirt is horizontal stripes, one's is vertical stripes, and they're different colors, like reds and blues and oranges and blue, red and blue and orange and blue kind of thing. Anyway, and again, it gave you the essence of what she wanted, and it was kooky, and they definitely are a pair.
Right. I mean, I will say this. Did I say this later? No, I'll say it now. I think Crystal got robbed. Point blank. I think she got robbed.
I agree.
So, speaking of things we're going to get to, you ready to move on?
Yes.
All right.
The time has come for you to lip sync for your life. Good luck, and don't fuck it up.
Okay, so before we get into like the actual real lip sync, I just want to say I don't know about this decision to make the super fans actually lip sync in pairs. When they said that they were actually going to lip sync, and I was like, oh, okay. And I thought, well, that's going to be wild because the bottom two queens are going to have to lip sync side by side with their two drag, like, individuals. So there'll be 4 of them on the stage. That's not what happened.
No.
And then I thought, oh, all 6 of them as the drag makeovers will be side by side for a mega lip sync, which will be cute and fun. No, that's not what we did. So instead, we matched them up into pairs randomly, weirdly, and then made them lip sync with all the queens watching along with the judges. And I was like, if you want to give people panic attacks, that's what you do to people that don't expect to be on stage, don't expect to be done in a makeover, and certainly don't expect to be lip syncing. Like, I thought that very questionable.
And to kind of add insult to injury, there was nothing to it. Like, they all won.
Well, right. They got the experience.
Yeah.
So they all got to experience RuPaul saying lip sync for your life 4 times, three for the different pairs of makeover girls, and then once for the real bottom 2 queens.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I would have preferred it way more if the 4 of them or 6 of them had been side by side, and it was just known and understood that it was fun.
Yeah. Agreed.
And just
like I are just not done it. Are done like a number.
Mm.
You know, like they've done in the past where the mother and daughter come out and do the thing.
Right.
You know, but whatever. Child.
All right. So in the bottom 2 are Heidi Aphrodite.
She's changed her name now.
We'll get to that. And Jackie Cox. Heidi has changed her name a gazillion times. By the way, in case you did not hear, officially, Heidi in Closet has made it be known that her middle name is not Nina. To dispel the rumor that even I said previously, her name is not Heidi Nina Closet. What I'm disappointed by is that she also did not say in that post, but I like it. Like she didn't everything Rue has offered at her, she's like, okay. Like she's good with any of it. But when the internet says, girl, your middle name is actually Nina, she's like, I want to dispel the rumor. This is not true. Pass this on. And like, that's it. And I was like, oh,
incorrect, y'all. Nah.
But a part of me's like, but girl, it's good. Like,
yeah. Heidi in the closet.
Yeah. But
Heidi in the closet. Like Heidi in a closet. It is literally fucking that. like Heidi Nina Closet.
So they lip sync to Kill the Lights by Alex Newell, which is a disco type number. Mm-hmm. How appropriate that Heidi and Jackie are both in disco-esque outfits. Makes me wonder if the song was on the master list of all the lip sync songs, and the moment the producers knew they were both going to go for a disco era look, they switched up the lip sync song on purpose.
Who knows?
So
many conspiracies.
Speaking of conspiracies, Damon, what did you think about the lip sync?
Okay. I said too late and unnecessary. Yep, I'm gonna be shady here for a second, y'all.
And
So, if you haven't watched the episode, spoiler, whatever, blah 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 bullshit. Like, this is the thing. Like, it's a double save. Like, they both stay. So, And yep, I'm going to say it now. I don't think they both should have been saved. Like, I'm just going to put it out there. I love Nina, or Heidi, excuse me. I love Heidi, and I love Jackie. Jackie has been really, cute this time around. She's not been doing so great recently. And Heidi, this is her, like, third or fourth time in a bottom, I'm pretty sure, if I remember correctly. I think I think Heidi outperformed Jackie. Like, Jackie came up with this concept that she's this crazy ex-girlfriend, and that was her way of doing the lip sync. And as a fan of the theater, I can respect that. Having your like motivation is sometimes crucial to what you're doing and putting out there. But this is a lip sync for your life. Your life. So I want to see you. Not some crazy ass character that you came up with while you're, I guess, trying to lip sync, practice the lip sync for the song. Whatever. I can understand character. I really can. But I don't want to see character in a lip sync for your life. I want to see you, because this is your life that's on the line. Your drag life, your whatever, your life in a competition, however you want to put it. So, like, so I had this major problem from the get-go. And as I'm watching it, I'm like, oh, well, there's Heidi doing her shit, and she's doing it well. And I see her outperforming you. While you were funny and you got some laughs, that was it. And I'm sorry about it, Jackie. I will say this much: you were a lucky bitch. This episode, you got the double save, whereas a certain someone who I think really wanted this and was really sort of fighting for it, at least until then, I think she had an opportunity to really go far. And yeah, that's all, Gary.
Well, it kind of echoes a little bit to what I had to say, which is one episode too late.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, no, she better don't.
Did we not already previously discussed about a double save? And when we thought there should have been one, there wasn't, which made us think there wasn't ever going to be one. And then, this bitch right here said, well, there's so many episodes in the season, and da-da-da-da-da. So she put her little calculator hat on, and she did this whole, thing, and I can't remember if it was in the Patreon ending or if it was in the regular, stuff.
I think it was.
But you said the only way this is gonna make sense is if there's a double save, or they bring a queen back. Like something's got to happen to make the whole thing work out in terms of math, blah blah blah. And I was like, okay. And I was like, oh, please don't bring a queen back, because I'm tired of bringing queens back. And Lord knows Dahlia Sin has, little Brock ally has been popping up in so many damn things. I don't need her to pop up again. Bye, girl. So see you on All Stars. What? You think the House of Aja is not going to have that queen come back in All Stars? Give me a break. That's the way I see it. This is how I feel about if she had returned.
She not ready to have hers.
Bye, girl. You had your chance once. We done.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, you called it. You were like, they'd have to have a double save or bring a queen back. And sure as shit, had a double save. Now, I will say I was excited by the double save. I was happy with the double save because at least I didn't feel like one was detrimental and would have pissed me off to stay.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if I fully agree with you. Like that Heidi did better than Jackie. I think they were very interesting, different takes on a lip sync. And so I found Jackie to be like pretty kooky in terms of like this mad ex-lover thing. But the fact that they included in the edit Michelle Visage saying to Rue, she really was Gilda Radner. And I was like, oh, well, she can't be going home. Why on earth would you include that comment?
Mm-hmm.
Like, to me, that seems like a vote for her to stay. So, yeah. So, what episode too late? So, yeah, Shantae, Heidi stays while Jackie also stays.
Mm-hmm.
So, she gets to live another day. Now, here comes the interesting and fun part. Are we going to send only one bitch home next week or two bitches? And suddenly go to top 4, which is really top 3. And then if we go from top 4 to top 3, and it's really top 2, ain't that going to be interesting? That going to be some shit.
So
Because last we knew, as much as I'm aware of, the finale has not been recorded in any way, shape, or form.
correct.
And California is sort of changing things in terms of like gatherings, I believe, and business stuff. So, normally they record it this coming weekend on the Sunday of Mother's Day weekend. So it's possible that in another week or something, they could try to pull their ass together and see if they could do something with the final 2 in an empty auditorium or something, with very limited staging. Or they could go a whole different route and try to do an online, not a lip sync, but an online, reunion to buy themselves another week before they actually have some finale of some sort. I don't know. I just don't know. Remains to be seen. All that, you ready to get to the last part?
Yeah.
All right. All right, children. Our final thoughts are called snaps and eye rolls, the highs and lows, hits and misses. So, Miss Damon, what were you giving snaps to this episode?
So I am giving snaps to Miss Opal Method, who was Crystal Method's partner in crime during this episode. I so fell in love with her. She was kind of, to me, like what I feel like every superfan probably feels in some way, shape, or form. She was anxious. She was nervous. She was super excited and giddy. And she came in with a like, I will do whatever you want kind of thing, like personality. And she, I loved her, like, the way to get the butterflies out, her whole like stance, like Wonder Woman kind of thing going, which I thought was really cute. She seemed to, like I said, roll with it really fucking well. And, while we talked about Crystal's like kooky choice of doing kind of like the red or not the orange and yellow makeup and all that stuff, she went with it. I mean, she probably didn't necessarily see what was going on, but she probably knew. I highly, highly doubt that Crystal did not tell her what they were doing. Like, there's no way in hell. Like, there's no way that she did not tell her, like, this is all going to be surprise. No, I'm sure they had a conversation, because the way that it played out was so fun and so beautiful and so, just amazing. So she had to have known something, that they were going to be doing these characters and this was what they were going to be doing, and to have fun with it. So kudos to her for rolling with it and having fun with it and allowing Crystal to kind of go this route. I agreed, I think earlier, that I think Crystal should have won, and Opal really did help her in that. I feel that way 100%. So kudos to Opal.
Good.
Gary.
So I mean, I agree with you. There were two things. Heidi's love, specifically, she was so wonderfully nurturing to
Mm-hmm.
Honey, her new drag family member, and
Mm-hmm.
helping her and getting her to be okay with being bigger and actually showing her legs under notably sheer pantyhose girl. That's probably my only complaint about big girls is that they wear sheer pantyhose and they got the shiniest legs. And I'm always like, oh. Like, the only way you get truly shiny legs is by a gorgeous, like, shave and lots of lotion. Like,
Mm-hmm.
butter that shit up. I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
so when I say big girls with, like, shiny, blinding, like, legs, I'm like, oh, that's sheer pantyhose.
Mm-hmm.
Like, did we have to do that? That's just a personal opinion thing.
Mm.
But no, I loved Heidi's love, like, that she was so warm and wonderful. And I was like, oh, like, it just makes me like her all the more. Like, I was like, not only do I want to have
Mm-hmm.
drinks with Heidi, like, I think I already said this before. I want to go have drinks with Heidi, and then I want to go to Waffle Ho afterwards. Because I bet the bitch can throw down on some, hash browns and some
Mm-hmm.
pancakes and shit. So, waffles, all that. Also, Crystal's choices, because I agree with you. Like, Opal was amazing, and she really did like kind of deliver on that super fan,
Mm-hmm.
ultimate fantasy thing. She was very much that, and I think Crystal just she was so like good at being intuitive and like respectful, but at the same time like having a vision and a concept, and then like you know
Yeah.
going with it, and really living up to the thing that Rue says, like, unless them bitches paying your bills, pay them no mind. Like, she probably was aware of what the other girls around the workroom were saying about like what she was doing to her, drag family member.
Mm-hmm.
And she was just like, this is what I do,
Mm-hmm.
you know?
And you do it well.
She does. Dun dun dun. Eye rolls, Miss Damon. Now don't
Well, I
hurt
kind of
yourself with this eye roll,
I won't.
because I know it's probably pretty severe.
Whew. I just am. I think I've talked about it enough earlier in this episode, but Sherry Pie's choices.
Dang. For those of you that weren't watching the screen, Damon took a big old sip of Coca-Cola Zero Tea.
Again, I think, like I said, I talked about it earlier. It's my biggest, like, I don't feel that she gave enough credit to her partner. She already had this concept, and I get where you're getting with the idea of like it being smart and coming up with something and you can just put it on and everything. But I would have liked some more input from the person. You had this very charismatic woman with you who has been through some shit. We learned through, her walk through Rue's through Rue's walkthrough. Say that 10 times fast. That Janet has dealt with people assuming that she was born a man, and she's always been tall and awkward and all that stuff. And I was happy that we got this opportunity to hear that. And I wished Sherry would have done more kind of fun with that and had some kind of, instead of putting a character on Janet, like giving her an opportunity to be very like glamorous and fun and had this moment of just like beauty. I'm sure, like, knowing what we know about Janet, that she kind of probably rolled with the punches with it. Sherry probably had like, again, like, this is what we're doing, like, ta da 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 da. So here you go, because we saw her again, edit whatever. We saw her in the workroom with the petticoats or whatever underneath all the on her already. I'm assuming to get fitted to make sure that they fit right. So she knew it was coming, but it just feel like I said, I feel like not getting any input about the person that you're making over, or just doesn't really affect the whole thing. And maybe we didn't get a lot of that stuff because of the edit but
Well, I mean, maybe Janet the Planet was so like just laid back and agreeable she didn't care.
that's
Like
true.
the fact that she was there was fun enough. The fact that she's so good in her own skin, she changed her own name legally. Like she could very just be, very much a chill kind of girl. Maybe her and Sherry, pass some puff back and forth, and they was like, whatever, I'm good, you good, and that was the end of it.
Maybe, but that's just how I feel. Like I just think there are some choices that could have been made that could have just helped in the long run. That's me.
Choices. Yeah.
Gary.
So my eye rolls are for Heidi's decision. And that's for what happened on the runway. Like, it was so disastrous. Honey
Yes.
had one of the most beautiful faces. Like, more beautiful, I think, than Heidi's face has ever looked. The entire season. And then her outfit doesn't work. And then Heidi's got a really cute, nice outfit that's fun. And her face don't work. And I was just like, what? What?
Mm-hmm.
And
It's
one of
one of
my
those-
queen sisters helped me with this outfit for my partner, like for my family member, and I was like, ugh.
Yep. I'm very curious where she got that outfit from. Because I'm just going to be honest with you. Okay, it probably came from Sherry.
I wondered about that. I honestly did.
Because I'm just gonna be blunt. Like if you look at the girls, they're all kind of small, framed, thinner framed, with the exception of Sherry.
Right.
Now, is it possible that the outfit came beforehand from someone else? And she didn't mention the name because it could have come from Widow. I'm just like throwing
That's true.
potential. It could have potentially also come from Widow.
That's true.
Just saying. But yeah, like that's where her mind is going. So I'm kind of like, but Widow's not in the workroom right now, so who knows? So yeah, that's where I don't know, but that's where I'm thinking. Like it probably came from Widow. It either came from Widow or it came from Sherry. Maybe Britta, if you want to go back that far. But we're talking, weeks ago. So,
Yeah.
anyway, just thought, but I agree with you. Like I was feeling like I loved, Honey's makeup. I love that she took the time and that Heidi took the time and did a really good job on her makeup. I feel bad for her because it meant she was not so good on her own. Mm-hmm. It reminded me a lot of, if I'm not mistaken, the Bob the Drag Queen makeover challenge situation.
Mm-hmm.
On top of that, I agree with, like, there just should have been done more. They talked about it in Fashion Photo Review. If Heidi and Honey had switched wigs, that might have been something different. I don't know. I don't know if that would have made it better or worse. I don't know. But what I do know is it was not a great look on Miss Honey. The dress just was not. It's a tent, and I hate being that person. And I get that, again, like I talked about, that she was a larger framed woman, but you could have done something else. If you want to go with this disco era theme kind of thing, that's all well and good. There were a lot of other things you could have done.
Yeah.
Just a lot of other things you could have done that I think you could have potentially had time for. Anyway.
Yeah. So I'm sure you all have something to say, and there's plenty of ways to let us know your opinions, just like us. You can go to our website, which is cubsoutloud.com. You could send us an email, which is cubsoutloud@gmail.com. You could also give us a ring-a-ding and leave a voicemail message that we would be happy to play and discuss on a podcast. To do so, you dial 361-COLTALK, also known as COL Talk. That's 361-265-8255. Social media, just type in Cubs Out Loud as one word. I'm sure we'll pop up somewhere. Be it Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, or right here on YouTube if you're watching us already.
Yeah.
If you want to join the chat, so what you do is you go to an internet browser and you type in tinyurl.com/Telegram, that's TELEGRAM -COLDR, and you can join our chit chat on there. Sometimes we get pretty fired up about opinions and speculation and stuff. I also like the fact that sometimes we throw in some other things, and it's not just about the current season. It's about some bitches, like some other stuff that's going on with the real girls. If you want to support us for Cubs Out Loud, you can do a couple of things. First thing is you can buy some merch at Zazzle.com /Cubs Out Loud. You can get yourself a lovely shirt. Damon and I are both wearing the Cubs Out Loud Drag Race Drag Her logo with the crown. It says Cubs Out Loud Drag Race. Comes in a plethora of colors. Even if you're abroad in a foreign country, you could find the appropriate store and then get yourself a shirt
Race.
or a cup, a mug. I don't have my coffee. I don't have my tea mug here. Kind of thing. But there's some items to choose from. Or you can go to patreon.com/CubsOutLoud. For as little as $1 a month, you can be a patron and help support our cause. If you would like to, online, you can rate us on iTunes. Give us a thumbs up, nice comment. We would appreciate it. Subscribe on Google Play Podcast, Spotify, all that kind of jazz. And Damon, if they want to get in touch with you, where would they find you?
If you wish to get in touch with me, you can find me as Theater Cub 79 on most bear-related sites or on Facebook. Or you can find me as pup_Umbra on Twitter.
And if you would like to reach out and get in touch with me, you can pretty much find anywhere online as GareBear73XXX. That is also currently where I'm still following the Drag Race Queens, although honestly, it's a big old blend of pretty much porn and drag queens, not at the same time.
Same.
Just saying. So with that, we're going to wrap up the show. Number 10 on season 12. There are still 6 queens left. If you've already seen the preview of the next episode, some people not happy about there still being 6 bitches. Just gonna say. We'll talk about that next time we're back.
Next time.
Like you do. I'm American, American, American. I am American, American. Red, white, and blue. I am American, American, American. I am American, American. Just like you do.
Bye, y'all.
Bye.